Our planet is at a distance of 100 million kilometers from the Sun, and its average speed is 170,220 kilometers per hour. The temperature of the Sun's center is 15,430,000 degrees Celsius. For it to emit light and release heat energy each time the Sun must burn, it consumes 1.25 million tons of fuel, and based on these, data scientists have analyzed that in the next 5 billion years, the Sun will go out. Astronomers have studied that red giant stars, which weigh about as much as the Sun, and are all much larger than the Sun. Some red giants have radii that extend as far as 150 million kilometers. Therefore, Sin guessed that one day, when the Sun becomes an enormous red giant, our planet may eventually be swallowed up orbiting beneath it. Scientists say the Sun will grow so large that it will be able to swallow the closest planet, Mercury. It can orbit in itself, but before our planet was absorbed by it, the Sun itself had already lost a lot of weight. Therefore, when the gravitational force of the Earth and the Sun would be greatly reduced. This orbit will be much longer than the current orbital radius. Scientists also predict it is also said that in the next 5 billion years, nuclear reactions will stop, and during that time the Sun will be 10 times as large as it is today, and will be a fully red giant, and there will be a temperature as high as 100 million degrees Celsius. If later, when the weight of the Sun decreases, our planet will be safe from being swallowed up. However, the Sun will continue to grow brighter, with the Sun being 2,349 times brighter than today. The unimaginable heat will spread and destroy all forms of life in the oceans. Will be dry, no underwater life remains. Over the next 160 million years, it will gradually cool down until it finally transforms into a white dwarf. At this point, scientists have stopped making predictions because there is nothing left to predict the end of. Humanity has arrived. According to the theory of scientists, it can be said that the Sun will definitely have a sunset, but it will not happen anytime soon. It will probably be another 5,000 to 7 billion years. At that time, humans. We may be able to produce modern innovations ready to deal with any natural events that are currently being explored on other planets. Find a star that is similar to Earth in case humans have to move to a new planet in the future to survive. As mentioned above, the analysis is that until the Sun dies, there will be enough time for humans to survive. But if we have to explain what changes will occur when the Sun and stars occur, that is enough. It can be explained as follows. Before the Sun dies, it will expand to become a red giant, which according to scientists' theories, says that it will absorb Mercury and Venus. Our jokes will not be absorbed, even though almost immediately after the Sun's eclipse, our planet's temperature will increase. The atmosphere is destroyed, and there is toxic air, and what follows is that humans will die to the point of extinction because they cannot endure it. But it has been speculated that until the time comes that the Sun will disappear, humans may be extinct. They went extinct due to other causes first, such as epidemics, food shortages, fighting, etc. Or will humans themselves adapt to germs and cause humans to mutate into a new species that is different from what we are now in order to live in harmony with the environment at that time? We cannot know whether the human species will have knowledge comparable to that of Homo or not, if there are still humans left or not. A new species with excellent development. It might be possible to create innovations that would allow the species to continue even without the Sun, which would require alternative energy such as nuclear energy. The Sun is only a medium-mass star. In about 5 billion years after it burns off its hydrogen fuel, The sun's outer layer, or core, will eventually become compacted. Only white dwarfs or Earth-sized remnants of stars. While stars 10 times larger than the Sun have much more dramatic deaths, their outer surfaces become supernovae, exploding into space and becoming one of the brightest objects in the universe for around 2 decades. At the same time, the remaining core is gravity compressed into a spinning spherical neutron star about 20 kilometers in diameter. Pieces of neutron stars the size of sugar would first weigh up to 1 billion tons on Earth. The gravitational pull of neutron stars is so strong that if you dropped a marshmallow on the ground, it would produce energy. That's the equivalent of an atomic bomb, but that's nothing compared to the finale of a star 20, or more times more massive than the Sun. Even if you dropped an atomic bomb of the same intensity as the one that dropped on Hiroshima every millisecond, the universe wouldn't have the same amount of energy that was released in the final moment when a giant star collapsed. As the core collapses, the temperature soars to 55 billion degrees Celsius, and the gravitational pressure is unstoppable. Each mass larger than the summit of Mount Everest was squeezed into tiny grains of sand. In the blink of an eye, atoms broke down into electrons, protons, and neutrons, which were crushed down into scraps and gluons. Then it got smaller and smaller and tighter until it got to where no one knew. Attempts to explain such a grand phenomenon using the 2 main theories of how the universe works, general relativity and quantum mechanics, have yielded mixed results, and the star turned into a black hole. Human beings may have to relive many lives and many lives before the Sun, which is a star in our solar system, will extinct. Astronomers reveal that the Sun has already been around for more than 4.5 billion years. That it has reached its half-life and will reach its end in the next 5 billion years. An international team of astronomers led by astronomers from the University of Manchester in England. They have developed a new simulation model to predict the life cycle of stars. They found that when stars like the Sun die, they release enormous masses of gas and dust into space, forming nebulae, planets, and stars. The Sun will have only half its mass, but its hot core will allow the gas and dust it releases to shine brightly and beautifully for up to 10,000 years. The bright beauty of such planetary nebulae can be seen with the naked eye, but whether humans at that time will have the opportunity to see it or not cannot be known. Astronomers reveal that when the time comes, the evolution of the planet. The dying Sun will have a severe impact on nearby stars and will boil water in Earth's oceans, destroying all life on Earth. If you like space stories, you are our friend. Click follow and press the bell so you don't miss any action.